Hey everybody, if you're new to the show, go check out our Tuesday and Friday episodes because those are typically a much longer format. One of the advantages that we have here at Lionheart Radio is the fact that we get to speak with a new thought leader, world-class coach, or elite performer almost every day. This, of course, does a ton to increase our personal growth, and we're honored that we get to share their stories with you. We do these minisodes so that we can take the things that we learn and condense it down into a very tangible piece of advice that you can apply to your life or fitness journey. Now, on to the show.
All right, today I want to talk to you about something that's become a bit of a buzzword, something I've become intimately familiar with over the last year, and that is metabolic flexibility. Now, what metabolic flexibility is your body's ability to recognize different fuel sources and then use them appropriately. Now, the two fuel sources that I'm talking about are fat and carbohydrates. Now, anybody that listens to this show knows that I utilize a ketogenic diet, which is a fat adapted diet, because I found good results with it for endurance training specifically. Now, if I only do a ketogenic diet and I never use carbs, the problem is that for my training, because I like to weightlift and do other things, a straight ketogenic diet just doesn't work. So I have to do a cyclic ketogenic diet where I cycle carbs in. Now, metabolic flexibility, in a perfect world, you can go back and forth from carbohydrates to fat, depending on the exercise or the workout that you're going to be doing. If you're going to be weightlifting, of course, okay, I want something like sprinting. Weightlifting, I want something like carbohydrates that are going to be fast. And if I'm going to do something like endurance sports, I'm going to want to utilize fat. Now, just like everything great in life, you can't just go back and forth. Great things take work. All right, so if you want to use carbohydrates, that's pretty simple. Your body is going to recognize carbohydrates and it's going to use them effectively and quickly. Now, if you eat the standard American diet, or if you eat the standard zone diet or macro approach, or even paleo, something that's low carbs but still uses carbs, your body's going to have no problem using carbs as fuel. Now, the downside to that is it's a lot harder for your body's ability to burn fat while you're using carbs as fuel. Now, if you want to switch over and you want to use fat as fuel, on the flip side, it is much harder to get your body to do that. It's not as simple as, okay, yesterday I was carb loading, today I'm just not going to eat carbs, I'm going to eat fat, and then my body's going to start burning fat. Now, for most of us, I think decreasing carbs and increasing fat just for hormone production and just a healthy lifestyle is going to be a good move. But if you want to really upregulate your body's ability to burn fat, what you have to do is you have to actually burn all of the glycolytic stores that are in your body. Now, sugar, carbs, it's not just you eat it, you burn it, and it's gone. It's stored in your liver and throughout your body. So the best way that I have found personally is if I want to get back into a fat adapted mode where my body is quote unquote ketogenic, or if it's using fat for fuel, which as you get into this, you can kind of learn your body's what fuel source it's using, because I know, hey, if I go out and I can work out for a long period of time, most likely I'm in that fat adapted state. Whereas when you're eating carbs because you're craving carbs and you're craving sugar all the time. Now, at first, as you go into the fat adapted diet, it's really hard to get your body to stop craving these things, but as you go back and forth more and more, you'll find that the cravings actually dissipate over time. Now, like I was saying, if you want to go from carbohydrates to fat burning, what you need to do is, well, you need to do fasted cardio. That'll help a lot. You can just actually do a fast for that day and just go about throughout your day. Now, when you're switching from carbohydrates to fat, it is a hard transition. Most people say don't even work out while you're doing that, and they say you get the ketogenic flu, they call it, basically low energy, tired, cranky, craving food. So a good way to kind of speed up that process, I have found, is to do a low intensity, 1, 2 level aerobic cardio type movement, maybe on the bike, maybe on the elliptical, maybe a light jog. And I don't eat, I only drink water. That way my body is essentially just looking for fuel, and I'm burning those glycolytic stores, and it's easily going to, well, not easily, but eventually it's going to start burning fat. Now, like I was telling you, I reintroduce carbs in a cyclic manner, so every 3 and 4 days. And that helps keep that system in my body upregulated, because when I compete or when I weightlift, I still want to use carbs. There's still a fuel source that is great. If you know anything about me or the show, you know that I'm always preaching against anything dogmatic. Um, and when I do these ultra endurance events, which I have found myself doing quite frequently, having the ability to utilize carbs is actually really important. But if I eat just a straight carbohydrate diet, my body's going to use them and burn them really quickly. When I use a low carbohydrate diet, or I use metabolic flexibility, which is what we're talking about, your body's ability to go back and forth from carbohydrates to fat, I find that my body uses carbohydrates extremely efficiently. So maybe like one donut or something like that in the middle of a race will last me an extremely long period of time. Now, there's all kinds of benefits for you using this lifestyle or using this diet in your lifestyle, no matter what your activity looks like or how you use it. Now, uh, fasted cardio, things like that, are going to be really good from a body composition standpoint, no matter what. But I think no matter what you do, it's important to figure out how your body uses different fuel sources. When you take out fuel sources and then you put them back in, you see exactly how your body reacts to them, which is important because then you can start to use them as a tool. Just like caffeine, if you're over caffeinated all the time, it's extremely hard to know like whether it works, or it's extremely hard to get the desired benefit. Now, if you take caffeine out of your diet and you want to put it back in, you'll notice you're going to be bouncing off the walls, right? Well, it's just like carbohydrates. Use it as a tool. It's just like fat. Use it as a tool. Take these things out of your diet. See how your body reacts. Maybe do some kind of workout where you're not using that macronutrient for a little while, and see if your body reacts well, or if you're like, nope, this isn't for me, fuck this, I'm getting carbs back in my diet today with pizza. But it's still good to go through that process to figure out how your body uses what it uses. So I'll get off my soapbox, but metabolic flexibility is something that's popping up more and more on different podcasts, and different thought leaders are kind of working it into their presentations. I think it's a really good concept, and it's a concept that you should know, but you should know that it's not as easy as flipping a light switch on and off. It takes work, it takes time, it takes dedication, and above all, it takes a keen interest in figuring out, and a keen self-experimentation figuring out how your body's going to do this. So today, a little bit of a different, completely unscripted minisode, but hopefully you guys got some good things out of it, and thanks for joining me.
Thanks for listening to Lionheart Radio. I hope that the information from today's show will make you fitter, happier, and healthier. For the show notes of this episode and every episode, head to www.lionheartrad.io. Yep, just like Lionheart Radio. And please, if you have the time, head over to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating. It really helps us to know that we're on the right track in delivering you reliable information and value. As always, feedback is welcomed. If you have any comments on the show or like to suggest a guest, send me an email at rick@luavive.com. That's LUAVIVE.com. Thanks for your support, and we will see you next time.
Bitch, I feel good. Don't I look stupendous? My shine is so endless, and shit you can do to end this. Even when I'm dead, niggas still gon' bump that chip shit. Coke, white, Escalade on cinches for you dipshit. So you won't forget this. Midwest nigga be the coldest. Cleveland is